Hi class, in lesson 9.3 you will be solving one-step equations with multiplication and division. Learning targets for today: using inverse operations to solve one-step equations and using models to represent one-step equations. Please turn to page 626, problem 1, maintaining balance. Very similar to lesson 9.2. Each representation is showing a balance. Please answer number 1, letters A and B with your group members. For number 1, letter A, you can divide the 9 squares into 3 equal-sized groups of 3. For letter B, 3 squares will balance 1 rectangle. Please turn to page 627, answer number 2, letters A and B with your group members. For number 2, letter A, you can divide the 10 squares into 5 equal-sized groups of 2. For letter B, 2 squares will balance 1 rectangle. Please answer number 3 and number 4, letters A and B, with your group members. For number 3, whatever you are doing to one side of the balance, you have to make sure that you are doing the same to the other side in order to maintain balance. For number 4, letter A, you must multiply the same quantity on the other side. And for letter B, you must divide the other side by the same quantity. Please turn to page 628, problem 2, one step at a time. Please answer number 1, letters A and B with your group members. For number 1, letter A, the equation that you should have to represent the balance is 5x is equal to 10. The strategy that you are using, you are creating 5 groups of 2. That is the same as dividing both sides by 5. So then we know that x will be equal to 2. For number 1, letter B, the equation that you should have to represent the balance, 9 equals 3x. Your strategy, dividing the 9 squares into 3 groups of 3, x will be equal to 3. Please turn to page 629 and answer number 2 with your group members. When we look back at letter A, in order to check our work, we know that x is equal to 2. If we substitute the value of 2 back in to the original equation, 5 times 2 is 10. 10 is equal to 10, so your solution is correct. For letter B, x is equal to 3. When I substitute the value back into the original equation, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 is equal to 9, so my solution is correct. Please answer number 3 with your group members. Again, when we look back at letter A, in the original equation, 5 is multiplied by x. In order to determine the value of x, you need to divide both sides by 5. The operations are inverses of each other. And for letter B, in the original equation, 3 is multiplied by x. In order to determine the value of x, you need to divide both sides by 3. The operations of multiplication and division are inverses of each other. As you learned previously, to solve an equation, you must isolate the variable by performing inverse operations. Please answer number 4, letters A through D with your group members. For letter A, the inverse operation of addition is subtraction. B, inverse operation of subtraction is addition. C, inverse operation of multiplication is division. And D, inverse operation of division is multiplication. Please turn to page 631, problem 3, solving equations. Please answer number 2, letters A through D with your group members. For number 2, letter A, the inverse operation is multiplication. You have to multiply both sides by 4. When you do that and solve the equation, n is equal to 28. When you check to see if your solution is correct, 7 is equal to 7, so your solution maintains balance. For letter B, your inverse operation is division. You have to divide both sides by 3. When you do that to solve the equation, y is equal to 6. And when you check your work, 18 is equal to 18, so your solution is correct. For letter C, your inverse operation is multiplication. You have to multiply both sides by 4 3/10. When you do that to solve your equation, n is equal to 40 and 42/100. When you check your work, 9 4/10 is equal to 9 4/10, so your solution is correct. And for letter D, your inverse operation is division. You have to divide both sides by 3/10, which is the same as multiplying both sides by 10/3. When we do that, we solve our equation. Y is equal to 11 1/9. When we check our work, 3 1/3 is equal to 3 1/3, so your solution is correct. This will conclude lesson 9.3 on solving one-step equations with multiplying and dividing. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.